Almost all the video you watch follows a set of widely accepted conventions. This includes movies, news stories, music videos, and more. These are approaches to recording and editing video that help audiences understand what they're watching. While there are no hard and fast rules videographers must follow, knowing these conventions will make your video more enjoyable for audiences to watch. The first convention we'll look at is the difference in shot types. The first shot type is called either a wide or long shot. They both mean the same thing. When we say long, we don't mean the shot has a lengthy duration. It means these shots come from a long way away from what we're shooting, and that we have a wide frame in which to see what we're shooting. These shots are good for starting off our videos because they show us the setting. They're also good to show the relationship of people or objects in our videos. In this wide shot here, we see a group of people preparing for a confidence course along with the equipment they will use. The next type of shot is called the medium shot, and, like its name suggests, it's in the middle of the type of shots we're going to employ. The camera has moved in closer than the wide or long shot we mentioned before, but we're still not very close to what we want to see in detail in our video. Medium shots are often used as a transition between the two other types of shots or between shots of the same type. In this shot, the camera has moved in on a smaller group of participants and just one piece of equipment they are using. The tight or close-up shot, again the labels mean the same thing and can be used interchangeably, is the most valuable shot in your video toolbox. Tight shots give us the details in our story. A video made with all wide and medium shots would be boring in most cases. But close-ups let us see the subject of our video in detail and connect us with what we are watching. So now we get in close to see the participants' feet while they are trying this balance exercise. Now that we know videos are made up of wide, medium, and tight shots, we have to think about how to put them together. We do that when we edit our video, assembling all our individual shots into what are called sequences or matched action sequences. Sequences use a variety of shot types. An editor would never make a video with all wide shots or only medium shots. There are no hard rules about the order of shots and sequences, but we usually start with a wide shot so that the audience can see the setting and place itself at the scene of the video. Part of the job of a videographer in the field is to collect a variety of shots with which to edit later. The videographer must make changes in the way she works to get wide, medium, and tight shots. It seems like the easiest way to do this is to keep the camera in one place and just zoom in or out to get wide, medium, or tight shots. But zooming in from a single place will cause all the shots to have the same angle and can lead to tight shots being shaky. So the best way to move from a wide to a medium or tight shot is to zoom with your feet, meaning picking up the camera and moving it closer to the subject you're shooting. Keep the lens as wide as it will go and move the camera close enough to get the shot you want. These two shots illustrate this. Both have basically the same subject matter, but the one on the left is zoomed in from a distance. Note how compressed and flat the image looks. For the shot on the right, the videographer has zoomed with his feet and kept the lens wide. Look how much more depth this has, showing the setting of the trio. A tripod is the best way to keep your camera shots steady and free from shakiness. Even the most steady person will shake a little bit with every breath and muscle twitch. It's extra work, but keeping the camera on the tripod will yield rock-steady shots. If a tripod is not available or you have to move the camera to a spot where the tripod won't fit, use a stationary object upon which to rest the camera. Prop small items like a phone or wallet under the front or back of the camera to tilt it up or down. There's a strong temptation for the videographer to pan the camera, move it left or right while recording when shooting a large scene. But resist that urge. Our eyes can't pan across the scene. Go ahead, try it. If you try to pan your eyes across the room you're in right now, you'll find they don't sweep evenly. Instead, your eyes jump to a few spots across the room. So, just like your eyes, get individual shots in different places rather than sweeping the room with a pan. Likewise, don't zoom in or out while recording. Our eyes can't do that either. Instead, move the camera in closer to get a tight shot, then edit the two together. When we read a story, we want to find out about interesting human characters and what happens to them. Video is no different. Viewers are drawn to footage of people doing things. Shots of inanimate objects at rest are boring. You should always strive to have people in motion in your video. That gives us the interest of seeing a person, as well as the ability to match our wide, medium, and tight shots to the movement and actions of people in the video. It's sometimes hard to approach someone with a camera, but once you get used to it, you'll be able to do it without hesitation. Look at the difference in these two shots. The shot of the scooter all by itself is dull and uninteresting. But if we see a rider on the scooter, it gets much more interesting to watch. Even though it's easier to get video of a sign or a building or some other object, go the extra mile to put people in your story instead. Video screens are two-dimensional, even those on 3D TVs. So it's our job as videographers to give the pictures depth even though they will be viewed flat. One good way to do this is to use natural frames. Natural frames occur when the camera looks past something close to the lens to focus on something farther away. That lets the viewer's subconscious mind see the image and realize the difference in perspective between the parts of the frame shows there is a depth to the scene being recorded. In this shot, the two participants closer to the camera provide a natural frame to view the instructors in the distance. The relative size difference forces the perspective for the viewer to show the third dimension. Aside from 3 dimensions, we can use the number 3 to make our video more aesthetically pleasing. In your mind, divide the screen into 3 equal parts using horizontal lines. Then do the same with 3 vertical lines. You'll end up with your picture divided into 9 parts. Look at the shot shown and picture where those lines will be. In the middle of the frame, you'll find 4 spots where the lines intersect. These spots are powerful in terms of composition. Good videographers place the most important elements in their videos at these intersections, rather than right in the middle of the frame. Doing so uses our natural sense of beauty to appreciate the picture for its structure. Note how the man's face and his hands line up roughly with 2 of those important intersections, while the pole falls on the vertical defining line to the left. Even those viewers who have never heard of the rule of thirds will tell you how much better a picture looks that uses this approach than one that does not. Most video is shot from either tripod height or from chest-high handheld cameras. While these shots are often fine, we should take the camera places where our eyes would not go when walking through a scene. That might mean climbing up on top of a structure to get a high, wide shot of the scene, or getting down below, such as shooting up through a grocery cart while a shopper fills it. This shot illustrates this well, capturing from ground level the image of a participant putting her foot up on a rung to climb a pole. These shots are special and should not make up the whole video. Instead, think of them as extra spice to go on top of the regular shots you get. The sensitive nature of today's cameras, even in your phone, means we don't have to always set up artificial lights to get good video. But a good videographer is always aware of the light and uses it to her advantage. The most important point is to work with the main light source behind the camera whenever possible. When outside, that source is almost always the sun. Indoors, it can be light coming in a window from outside or artificial light found in the room. Always try to keep the light falling on the subject brighter than the light coming from behind the subject. Likewise, the area behind the subject in a shot should be darker than the place where the subject is in the shot. Note how, in this shot, we can see the well-lit outside area behind the shelter, but the instructor is dark and silhouetted in the foreground. Now the videographer has moved the camera to put the roof and inside wall of the shelter behind a different instructor, eliminating the brightly lit outside area behind her. Now her face is well exposed and the shot is much more pleasing. While this last bit of advice may seem obvious, it is here to remind you that shooting good video is a very active pursuit. A videographer should always be on the lookout for the best close-ups that show the most detail, natural frames to give the video 3 dimensions, or from where the brightest light is coming. Make mental notes or even write down your ideas to be sure you keep track of all you need to shoot. In the end, there's often not a chance to go back and shoot it again if you miss it the first time.